The Yabulu one was a long-running battle. So we opposed the ocean outfall that was going to be the first thing to do with the liquor out of the factory and so on. We did a lot of work on what was on the bottom out there and on the current flows around the area. So each step was we would examine and often make submissions about and so on. So they went for land disposal, and we knew they hadn't prepared things properly for it and so on. And so they were in operation, and they were just pumping the liquor out into the woodland areas north of Townsville. And I remember I persuaded Bob Hartwick, who was a lecturer in marine biology and had a pilot's license. He and I went up and flew over, did circles over the factory, and I was leaning out the window taking photos of what they were just pumping into the forest. They just bulldozed some retaining walls and no ceiling on the bottom of it, and they just pumped it out, and it sloped away into the woodland areas round about. Another eminent member of the Townsville Regional Conservation Council actually went in by boat at sea at night and managed to get some samples out of these illegally bulldozed liquor ponds and so on. And the company had armed guards around at the time, so it was a fairly high risk operation with people coming in by sea and landing on the beach and then crawling up through the darkness and getting samples out of the dams. But that, with our aerial surveillance from friends flying their planes and so on, was all part of the more active times then. But by using media and letters and protests and so on, we managed to get the Minister of the Environment, Commonwealth Minister of the Environment, Moss Cass, up along with a Today Tonight team headed by the wonderful Andrew Olley, and we all marched up there to have a meeting with the Greenvale management. We all arrived outside, and the gates were all locked, and we pulled up and went up to the change, and the manager was on the other side, and the Minister of the Environment was there, and Andrew Olley filming, and the manager said, "You're all very welcome in, except for you, Alastair Birtles, because you're banned from the site." But Moss just called me over, and he got an envelope out of his pocket, and he signed me up as a member of his personal staff for the day, so I was allowed in so that I could have my say along with everybody else. So they were heady times when there was a lot of protesting and marching. You have to remember what an authoritarian government the Bjelke-Petersen government was in Queensland. So it wasn't long afterwards that all street marches were banned, and so we marched under the threat of police action, which could often be very robust and so on. But the Yabulu one was a long-running battle, and there was the period when they were going to ship it from Horseshoe Bay, transferring in barges out of ships and so on, into barges, and then running around Magnetic Island and bringing it into Townsville, and that was just a crazy idea. But each time it took a lot of action from concerned people to dissuade the more unusual proposals that came up.